In the early 19th century, the Bell family of Adams, Tennessee, became the center of one of America's most chilling hauntings. It all began when John Bell, a prosperous farmer, noticed strange, unexplainable occurrences around his home. The Bell farmhouse, nestled amidst the rolling hills of Tennessee, was supposed to be a place of peace and prosperity. But the tranquility of the Bell family was shattered by an unseen force. One autumn evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and cast an amber glow across the fields, John sat in his dimly lit study. The flickering candle on his desk cast long, wavering shadows on the wooden walls, creating an atmosphere thick with unease. As he pored over his ledger, trying to balance his accounts, he heard the unmistakable sound of footsteps approaching. The wooden floorboards creaked under the weight of invisible feet, and John felt a chill run down his spine. He knew he was alone in the house at this hour. The footsteps stopped just outside his door, and a chilling whisper broke the silence, "John Bell, you will die." The whisper was cold, clear, and filled with malice, reverberating through the room and echoing in his mind. John froze, his heart pounding in his chest. The weight of the words hung heavy in the air, a haunting premonition of the torment that would plague the Bell family for years to come. The entity, which came to be known as the Bell Witch, seemed to have a personal vendetta against John, tormenting him relentlessly. As the haunting continued, the Bell family sought help from friends and neighbors. Word of the supernatural events spread quickly through the small community, attracting visitors and investigators from far and wide. The Bell farm became a hub of curiosity and fear, with people eager to witness the strange occurrences for themselves. One such visitor was General Andrew Jackson, who was intrigued by the tales of the Bell Witch and decided to investigate for himself. Jackson and his men arrived at the Bell farm one evening, their carriage rolling to a stop under the cover of night. The air was crisp, and a full moon cast an eerie glow over the landscape. As they approached the house, the horses suddenly refused to move any further, their eyes wide with fear. Jackson, known for his bravery on the battlefield, felt an icy chill run down his spine. He stepped out of the carriage, his eyes scanning the darkened landscape. "Whoever or whatever you are," he called out, "show yourself." The response was immediate and terrifying. A disembodied voice echoed through the night, "I am here, General. I am the Bell Witch, and you will not challenge me." The voice was filled with anger and defiance, and it seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere all at once. The men were frozen in fear, their faces pale and eyes wide, as the voice continued to taunt them. Jackson's bravado melted away in the presence of this unseen, malevolent force. Despite their bravery, Jackson and his men left the Bell farm the next morning, unable to withstand the eerie presence of the Bell Witch. The haunting persisted, growing more aggressive with each passing day. The Bell Witch seemed to revel in the fear she instilled, often mocking and physically attacking John Bell. The once happy household was now a place of constant dread and sorrow. The Bell children were not spared from the witch's torment. Betsy Bell, the youngest daughter, was frequently the target of violent attacks. She would be slapped, pinched, and have her hair pulled by invisible hands. Betsy often awoke in the middle of the night to the sound of malicious laughter ringing in her ears. The family's pleas for mercy were met with scornful taunts and cruel tricks. One night, Betsy lay in her bed, the covers pulled tightly around her. The room was dark, save for the soft glow of the moon filtering through the window. As she tried to drift off to sleep, she felt a cold, clammy hand grip her ankle. She screamed, kicking and thrashing, but there was no one there. The laughter echoed around her, growing louder and more maniacal, until it felt like the walls were closing in. As the months turned into years, the Bell Witch's torment showed no signs of abating. The family's once prosperous farm began to fall into disrepair as John Bell's health deteriorated. The constant stress and fear took a toll on him, and he grew weaker with each passing day. The witch's attacks became more frequent and more vicious, targeting John relentlessly. On a cold December day in 1820, John Bell was found lifeless in his bed. His death was surrounded by mystery and fear. The Bell Witch claimed responsibility, her voice filled with triumphant malice. The family discovered a strange vial of dark liquid near John's bed, which the witch claimed was used to poison him. Despite their attempts to seek justice, the Bell Witch remained elusive, her laughter echoing through the halls of the now infamous Bell Farm. The local doctor examined the vial, but its contents were unlike anything he had ever seen. The substance was dark, thick, and emitted a foul odor. The doctor declared it a poison, but its origins and ingredients remained a mystery. The Bell family, already devastated by John's death, was left with more questions than answers. Years later, the legend of the Bell Witch continues to haunt the small town of Adams, Tennessee. The Bell Witch Cave, located on the former Bell property, is a testament to the family's ordeal. The cave, dark and foreboding, attracts visitors and paranormal enthusiasts from all over the world, eager to uncover the truth behind one of America's most enduring ghost stories. The cave is said to be the epicenter of the Bell Witch's power, a place where the boundary between the living and the dead is thin. Visitors report hearing whispers, feeling cold spots, and even seeing the ghostly apparition of the witch herself. Despite the fear, many are drawn to the cave, compelled by the mystery and the promise of a glimpse into the unknown. Local guides lead tours into the cave, sharing the harrowing tale of the Bell family and their relentless tormentor. As the group ventures deeper into the darkness, the atmosphere grows heavier, and the silence is broken only by the occasional drip of water from the cave's ceiling. The guide stops at a narrow passageway, said to be the witch's favorite haunt, and tells the group to listen closely. The sound of faint, ghostly whispers fills the air, sending chills down everyone's spine. Despite the passage of time, the Bell Witch's legacy remains an integral part of Adams' folklore. The story has been passed down through generations, each retelling adding new layers of intrigue and fear. For the Bell family, the haunting was a period of unimaginable terror, but for many, it has become a tale of caution and curiosity. Local residents still speak of the Bell Witch in hushed tones, sharing their own experiences and sightings. Some claim to have seen the ghostly figure of a woman in old-fashioned clothing wandering the fields at dusk. Others report hearing strange noises and feeling an unexplainable presence when near the old Bell farm. The Bell Witch's story has been the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and investigations, each seeking to unravel the mystery behind the haunting. But despite all efforts, the true nature of the Bell Witch remains elusive, her presence a dark shadow over the history of Adams, Tennessee.